Hello, everyone. Good to see that we're back all in the presentation mode. I am going to now invite Brian Christie up to the speakers panel, and he's going to present about the crowdfunding ecosystem that we're operating here. So let's see how we can do that. Here he is. Brian, could you please turn on your camera and your microphone? They are at the bottom of your screen. Okay, excellent. All right.
You see me and hear me?
Yes, sir. Take it away.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Peter, and thank you, everyone. So I'm here to talk about CfPA's crowdfunding ecosystem and the crowdfunding ecosystem in general. I am Brian Christie with the board of CfPA, also the CEO of RegA. So I'm going to take a second here and share my screen because most of what I'm sharing today is going to be in presentation format. So just give me 1 minute to share, and for anyone to give me a thumbs up, but I assume that you can see this. So when we talk about the crowdfunding ecosystem, we're talking about a couple things. And the first thing that people tend to think of when they hear these words is the sort of macro industry, the players that are involved, the vendors, the regulations, and that's something that we'll go over briefly. But what we're also talking about as it relates to the CfPA context is an online knowledge sharing platform that we've developed that also has an industry guide or vendor directory and some social network features to help bring people together. So for those who are fairly new to the industry, we'll start with the sort of first topic, and that is the ecosystem, the crowdfunding ecosystem in general. And really, it's broken down into different types of crowdfunding. And this is going to be reviews for all of you pros here, but for the newbies, just let me go over it for a couple minutes. So we know that there's donations crowdfunding, which is if someone has a medical bill or something, you've probably seen advertisements for those, if not used it yourself. There are rewards crowdfunding, so you can get a product or a good that's involved with what you're funding, for the company you're funding. Debt, which peer-to-peer lending, another type. And of course, there's this emergence of royalty or revenue sharing types of crowdfunding. But what we're talking about today, what we're really focused on right now with the association is equity and investment crowdfunding. And that's also the focus of the platform that we're developing at CfPA as well. So here's a look at some of the players who are in the industry. Of course, it's not exhaustive. There are many more. Just in the FINRA-approved crowdfunding portals alone, there are 65 portals that are out there approximately. And we know that there are approximately 3,500 broker-dealers who all are able to play in this realm as well. And so, but here you can look and see different organizations that are generally operating at some level in the equity investment crowdfunding. Now, one of the challenges is that as more players enter and as some exit, there's a lot of knowledge sharing that needs to take place between these boxes or for issuers or investors who are coming into the space for the first time. And so at CfPA, what we've decided to do is to create a platform that would enable these different boxes and groups to actually interact and communicate on sort of an ongoing basis. And the point is to do that online through an online platform. So what we've developed is the crowdfunding ecosystem, which is this interactive knowledge sharing platform with very strong social components to it. And so what we're doing is we're taking what we feel are the best elements that you can find on social media in general and building those sort of features into the platform. So for example, you'll find on the CfPA crowdfunding ecosystem, there are features that are similar to what you'd find on LinkedIn. There are features similar to what you'd find on, say, Medium for a blogging board. There's a vendor directory, so similar to what you find with Yelp or an online Yellow Pages. Those types of features are built in to the ecosystem as well. Many of you may be familiar with Quora, and so this too has a community Q&A, chance to share information, ask questions, and to get those addressed. There are group online discussions. Seems like everyone knows about Facebook groups, or many people participated in Reddit forums. This has those types of features as well. There's a site-wide feed, so you can see what's current and happening on the platform. There are features that are related to being able to have a one-on-one Zoom-like session and to pay someone for that if you're seeking advice, or if you're an expert, to receive payment for the advice you might give. So basically what we've done, we've gone around, we've taken what we feel are the best features you can find on social media, we're baking those into the crowdfunding ecosystem to make this a rich interactive platform that everyone can build and to participate in. Now, what are the benefits? In addition to being able to participate in this knowledge sharing, there is the opportunity for people who are actively contributing to get their content contributions picked up and ranked high on Google. So search engine optimization, SEO, is something that is often very costly for firms to do. They'd have to hire an independent agency or a digital marketing agency. And so what we find and what we've engineered and architected for is the ability for the content that is being exchanged and on this platform to rank high in search. And so what you'll find, and you'll find it more and more going forward, if you have a question related to equity crowdfunding and you type that into Google, what you'll find is that some of the Q&A that's answered, the blogs that are posted on this platform are likely to be very highly ranked on Google, and that could be page 2, page 1, or the very top search. And more and more you'll see this content working its way to the very top of Google search. Now, as much as we're proud of the work we've done at CfPA, we realize that the first place people go when they have a crowdfunding question is not necessarily to our website. The first place seems most people go is search, online search, and within the world of online search, 90% of the people are going to Google first. So we've worked very hard to make sure that this content gets ranked highly on Google. So if you type in some of these questions, you'll see here, is crowdfunding a good fit for my business? You'll see that what comes up high on Google search, perhaps number 1, depending on where you're searching from, is content and an answer that comes from the crowdfunding portal. And here are other examples of questions you can find. What is testing the waters for RegCF? That's going to end up high in Google search. And again, it's content you'll find on the crowdfunding ecosystem. Another benefit of the ecosystem, which is unlike other typical social platforms, there's this ability for users to put their own profile into what we call data incognito mode, which means that their data is going to be put into a vault and it won't be subject to algorithms, any targeting, any analytics, any sharing. That information is not going to be sold in any way. It really gives users the power over their own profiles. And this is something that many of you may be tracking as a big issue in the news, in that algorithms seem to rule the world. And so what's nice about this platform is, as a consumer, you can come in and you can actually see what parts of your data are being used for what purposes. You can actually see the very specific algorithms at a line by line, at a very granular level, that are being utilized as it relates to your profile. And you can turn them off. You can flip a switch and turn off any algorithms that you find troublesome or that you're not comfortable with. So this is something that also makes the ecosystem unique, because there are not other platforms that allow this granular level of control over your data, and the granular level of control over the algorithms that are involved with your profile. Another benefit is this ability to monetize expertise. And so if you are a contributor on the platform, you have the ability to create a profile, to put a rate at which you charge for having a video-based conversation, either in a 15, 30, or 60-minute interval. You get to set the rate, and then when a call is completed, you get 70% of that rate. The rest will come back to the association. So it's a chance to monetize your expertise if you play in that particular role. I'd be remiss at not mentioning that there are sponsorship opportunities for organizations or companies that want to sponsor CfPA in the ecosystem. And by doing that, it's a very unique form of sponsorship in that we'll take some of your sponsorship monies, we'll put them into a bounty pool, and they'll be rewarded out to users and contributors on the platform for their participation. In most social media, you get nothing. And so the idea here is that you're contributing, and that might be by recruiting someone, it might be by answering a question, it might be by posting content. Whatever you do, we feel you should receive a bounty, some sort of reward for that. So say you post an answer to something, you might get $5 for that. And the sponsors that we recruit are the ones who are going to provide the funding for those bounties, and then we recognize that for that. So if you're a sponsor, if $5 goes to pay for someone to answer a question, it'll say this is sponsored by Acme Inc. or whatever the name of your company is. So it's a nice way for sponsors to get recognition for supporting the community. And then finally, there's a chance to register if you want to come and participate as a consumer for free. This is URL for that. I'll share it elsewhere. There's a vendor directory. If you want to put your company up there, you can create a basic listing. Again, that's for free. Once you've registered, you create an account to be seen on the platform. So if you're a service provider of some sort and you're new to this industry and you want to get found and discovered, I'd encourage you to come and get listed in the directory. And then for those who want to have an interactive profile that has more features available, there is a chance to upgrade those profiles as well, so that you can get a lot more of the benefits, especially as it relates to SEO and some of these other things I discussed. And so there's a nominal fee for participating in that way as well. And happy to follow up with folks afterwards to talk about those opportunities. I'd encourage everyone to go and at least register on the site. And if you're a member, there's a special group that we're creating where members own discussions. And if you're a contributor, again, let us know, and we'll make sure that your profile gets more visibility in that way as well. So with that, I'll just end the presentation part. I believe that Peter may come back to close things out, and I'm available throughout the day for any Q&A that may result in follow-up. Any questions? I'm looking here.
Brian, just click on the Q&A side.
I see 2 questions here, so I'll just ask them. Are there training products to educate potential issuers?
Say that again. I'm sorry, Samson. Are the training products?
Yeah, to educate potential issuers.
Yeah, that is part of something we've discussed at the association, that there will be some training material. There's also some certification programs that are under development at CfPA, as you know, Samson. So that's something where much of this content will be behind registration, so that people who want to have access to that will be able to get to it through the ecosystem.
Awesome. So I know Peter Rafsowski is about to kick us off because we're interfering with this other panel. I just wanted to ask that quick question. So Peter, the stage is yours.
All right. So thank you very much, Brian.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
It was actually very helpful for me to even understand kind of the lay of the land with all the different parties in the ecosystem.